Wait. We barely made it here. Let's go back. So, after spending 2 days in Vegas, it was time to go back to the nature. Our next stop was Inyo National Forest, which is back in California, almost 400 miles away from Las Vegas. Normally, we would have driven through the famous Death Valley National Park, but sadly, our van rental company specifically excludes Death Valley from insurance coverage. That's why we had to drive around. The trip started fine, but the more we drove, the darker it got. The side of Death Valley looked pretty much covered in rain, while we seemed to be heading into the darkness as well. Once it was time to cross the mountains at the north, that's where the fun started. As we slowly climbed up the winding road, there were more and more little streams alongside the road until the road seemed to be consumed in those streams. Only then it occurred to me that, hey, that's probably how flash floods start, right? At times I had to brake almost to a halt to pass sections covered in water, mud, and other debris coming from the hills. I've never had such an experience, and it was quite scary at times. Luckily, the road got better as we drove higher, while the weather was pretty miserable all the time. It just kept on raining hard the whole time. I was a bit scared of what's waiting on the other side of the mountains, as we still needed to descend, so we didn't know if the road would look the same or even worse than when we were approaching the mountains. And the road down ended up just fine. No debris on the road, just rain. Near Big Pine, both the road and the weather got way better, and I could finally relax behind the wheel. Fun fact: if we decided to drive across the Death Valley, so ignore the insurance coverage, we would have likely got stuck, as there actually was a flash flood. Road 190, yeah, that's the road we would have taken, and apparently several cars got stranded while parts of the road were damaged by the flood. Us visiting Death Valley, yeah, I think it was just not meant to be this time. If you think that eventful driving was behind us, well, our hike would start in Onion Valley, which is at almost 3,000 meters height. Mind you, we came from a desert city just yesterday, and the road to the valley is a fun one for sure, with several zigzags and U-turns. Our camper van was having pretty hard time getting up, and I was glad that we left early and did not create traffic jams with our snail speed. Really, we were super slow. We did hike the Kearsarge pass, which is roughly at 3,600 meters height. The trail is not particularly difficult, it just steadily climbs up to the pass, first through foresty path, which later turns into more rocky terrain. The only thing to really keep in mind is the altitude, since you already start at 3,000 meters and then you need to go up much higher, and it depends how much time you've spent in such height before. I particularly didn't have any physical feeling, but definitely in the videos you hear my deep breathing at times. So I was feeling fine, but definitely had to be slower and catch my breath once in a while. On our way, we passed a few stunning lakes and admired the walls of mountains around us. I really like this part of California, and especially this part of Sierras, as the mountains look very picturesque. Already on the way to the pass, but you just wait till you see the views from the pass itself. It was amazing.